Hello Shello, and welcome back to another fabulous episode of NELLYVYLLE Reviews Drag Race Season 18, Episode 14. This is the Good Morning Bleeps episode, and guys, we're down to the final wire. This is the final challenge. Now, next week's episode that'll be coming up will be the Lollapalooza, so all of the eliminated queens will come back, do a little dance off, a little lip sync off, for that other title, for Lip Sync Assassin of the Season title. So this is the last official title challenge with our top four, Darlene, Juicy, Nene, and Mikey. So by the end of it, we find out, did we keep a top four? Do we whittle down to a top three? So let's go through the episode, shall we? Remember, you can listen to this audio only, or you can catch the full video on YouTube. Pick your poison. So after Jane's elimination, that was a huge shock last week, but look, track record counts, but not always so much in the main season. Now, when y'all get to the finale, and look, we saw last year when Anya and Jewel Sparkles went up against each other in that final lip sync. A lot of people felt like Jules won that final lip sync, but because of track record, obviously that was considered when Anya got the crown. Now, could some people say maybe Anya won that final lip sync? Maybe. But we're not going to talk about last season. So anyway, so we got our top four. So after Jane's gone, the top four, they over her crying and snotting and crying. I gonna miss her so much. It's emotional. I get it. And it was an upset. But, Jane, she lost that lip sync. Great track record. We love to see you on an All Stars. They congratulate Mikey on her third win. So Mikey's out here dipping and doing it. Then that's when they realized we just evened out the competition. Because before Jane went home, everyone else was pretty much fighting for second place. Let's be honest with the way things were going. Now, could somebody have snuck up and took the crown? Maybe. But now it's really anybody's game. And Nene's like, oh, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. And they realize, like, wait a minute, we all kind of got a chance now. Moving on to the next day, there's a new day in the workroom. Mikey, this was funny. Mikey was carrying Juicy in, and I thought it was really cute. It was really funny. That I was like, that Mikey, you strong. I mean, Juicy's little, but I was like, I am. She picked her up like she was just a couple of ice cubes or something. They kiki. And then they realize they've never seen Darlene lip sync before. Darlene has never had to land in the bottom and lip sync. So she goes to the finale. We're in for a surprise. And that means she has all of her tricks. See, that's the other thing. When people keep ending up in the bottom, we see all of your tricks and it gets boring. It gets repetitive. And then it's like, do I save my really, really good stuff for the next chance? But you might not get a next chance, and then you pull out all of your, you know what I'm saying? Now it's time for rules. Rule comes up with the video message and says a side ponytail is your best defense against financial ruin. Now this is a reference to a TikTok video Rue made probably like a couple of years ago. It's very funny because he delivered it very seriously. A side ponytail is your best defense against financial ruin. It's very funny. Rue comes in. I love the little red and white polka dot little ascot scarf. That was really cute. Rue announces the Maxi Challenge. The girls are going to host a morning show in pairs, live, no script, with producer Ross Matthews. And they get a one-on-one tic-tac chat. This is a staple. It used to be a tic-tac lunch, tic-tac dinner. Some seasons didn't get it. Most seasons have these one-on-one chats with Rue. And so they're going to do that. And they also get to pick their partners for this challenge. Okay. So Mikey and Darlene pair up. Juicy and Nene pair up. Real cute. Let's see how it goes. Mikey was like, man, I wouldn't mind being with Juicy. But the last time I was with Juicy, I really helped her and had fun, but Juicy ended up winning. So I understand Mikey being like, dang, I helped her, I mean, she was proud of her win, but you get what I'm saying. So, there was that, but I think it was a good pairing. So we're gonna see how they do in the actual challenge. So they go on to do their planning. Mikey is nervous because her and Darlene have such different approaches, and Darlene has never hosted anything before. Okay, yeah. So that can be worrisome because it's like, oh man, I tried to not get somebody that I had to, carry on my back. Is this going to be the same situation? So I understand Mikey being nervous. Um, they're being judged as pairs. Someone threw that around. I didn't hear that when Rue was telling the rules. But obviously after Rue leaves, the producers or the PAs come in and give specifics about what was going on. I don't know if they assumed that they were being judged as pairs or if that's actually what they were told. If so, that adds a whole nother layer of pressure, because it's like, what do you mean my dreams are on the line and I got to depend on my scene partner? It's giving layers of stress here. And then I said, Lord have mercy, Nene and Juicy. It's either going to be really good or really bad. Because, baby, they was a struggle bus trying to come up with some ideas, trying to focus. They are both really good team players. I don't know how good they are as taking charge and being a leader, at least not in this setting. They kind of need someone that's like throws a, you know what I mean? They kind of, I don't know, that pairing, I can see why they struggled, is all I'm saying. So then we go on to the tic-tac chats with RuPaul. Now, RuPaul gave every girl this kind of painting. Like, he sat there and pretended like he was painting, and then it was like clearly like a, the joke is that they were AI paintings. They were funny. It was kind of weird. It was very random, but but the tic-tac chats were really, really nice. Nene gave some good answers to her questions. Made it seem like she made a good connection with Rue. Juicy did well. We learned a little bit more why, she's a little more kind of holding back, not really fully letting loose. We learned a little bit of background about her relationship with her father and how it's getting better, which is helping her to break out of her shell more. Y'all know that story. And then Mikey, I appreciated the confidence. It was borderline. It was stepping over into cocky territory. And I think Rue was like, oh, okay. I didn't feel like Rue made that much of a connection with Mikey the way Rue did with some of the other girls. Look, Mikey, if you know you are, you're strong in it, but I think it was lacking that humility. And I think Mikey was trying too hard to put on like, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna win, and I know that I'm great, and I know. But sometimes when you try too hard to put on, it just wears the humility, and it just crosses over into a turnoff. Now, Darlene and Rue really connected. They both talked about their sobriety. Darlene talked about how she finally decided to really commit to her sobriety journey when 9+ years ago, when she met her fiance and was like, I wasn't necessarily strong enough to stay sober for me, but I love this person so much, I really wanted to fight for them. And it was just really beautiful. It was really, you could tell Rue was really moved, but it was also funny that in the beginning, Rue was like, Rue basically told Darlene, I didn't think he was going to be here. Rue was like, if I was a betting man, I don't know that I would have put money on you making it to the top 4, which was funny. I appreciate Rue being honest, but damn, you had to tell me you didn't see it for me. But it's true. A lot of people saw Darlene as a filler queen. So, but Darlene has really shown, especially I think since after the roast, Darlene really turned it around. Now we moved on to the recordings with Ross. Okay, so Nene and Juicy go first. Okay, it was a little rocky. It was a little shaky. They had some funny moments. They pulled it together. Juicy kept going a really sexual route. That kind of wasn't necessary. But I appreciate Juicy at least trying something and really going. I could see that she was really, really trying. And Nene really was committed to her character. And then I think, I said that their first their first segment was their weakest. It kept getting better and better. I think altogether, I think the girls did, what, 3 segments, 4 segments. But then when Mikey and Darlene went, it was like not even up for debate. You knew that, okay, like they won. Off rip. Wow, wow. I wrote wow, 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 incredible. It was entertaining. It was funny. The delivery, their styles of comedy really complemented each other. You could tell that they were really, really prepared, but not over rehearsed. So you could tell that they really thought about, you know, what jokes do we want to land? What direction do we want to go? But you could tell that they allowed them enough space to be able to breathe and to be able to improv and just kind of be present in the moment. It was hilarious. It was really good. And Darlene, oh my gosh, Darlene is a star. Darlene is a star. I mean, they both did great, but wow. Darlene's just really every week she's in her element. So we move on. It is the next day, the last day in the workroom. So the 4 of them are realizing, you know, we started with all these girls. It's down to us. It's the last time we're going to be here. Lots, you know. And they talk about their favorite challenges. Darlene said her favorite challenge was the roast, which that makes sense. She kind of broke out. Nene said her favorite challenge was the snatch game, which I believe Nene won. Mikey said the Rusical was probably her favorite. And Juicy said all of them were her favorite / the talent show. And then they talk about their first impressions of each other. So that was really cute. That was fun. Now we are on to the main stage. Darling Rue's out here looking real cute. We got Michelle Ross and Tiana Taylor. Hey, Tiana girl. How's it going? So let's take a look at this runway. So the category was drag excellence, darling. So let me pull up these little runways here. We're going to start with Juicy. I like this. This is an homage to her mother, Morphine chain look that she had. This is nice. I think it's beautiful. It does read as drag excellence to me. It's a little bulky in the middle, but I don't really mind. Some people were saying that this looks like it was maybe a costume that was made for someone else because it just looks a little bit big and a little bit long. But I don't mind the clunky look. It is giving very opulent. The mug is stamped. You know, I can't complain. I think the little shoe is cute and stuff. It's very rich, very rich. Okay, come on, drag excellence. The back is really neat too. I like that. Next up we have Nene Coco. This is fab. I think this was my favorite look of the night. It did have a reference to, oh gosh, I forgot what the reference was to this, but this is really beautiful. I mean, it fits like a glove. Even Tiana Taylor was like, I'm going to need for you to take that off and give it to me as soon as you exit the runway, because this is all that. Drew was like, yeah, I could see you wearing it at the BET Award. Talking to Nene, telling Nene, I could see this could be at the BET Awards or the Source Award. Or maybe Tiana said BET first, and then RuPaul was like, yeah, the Source Awards. It's like, anyway, y'all were funny, but it was really cute. It was beautiful. Love the wig. So, Nene, this was great. Some people, if you're nitpicking, the gown did not touch the floor. But I'm not mad. I'm not a stickler about the gown touching the floor, but some people really, that's a big deal. Mikey. This is beautiful. I think this is very Mikey. It is drag excellence. Some people might say it looks crafty. I think it looks just, I think it looks more, I think it looks handmade. But like not in a cheap way, like in an avant-garde type of way. It's definitely going to be, you know, either you're going to hate it or you love it. You know, it's not going to suit everyone. I think this is very her. And I didn't mind the little thin wire. I think it gave it some whimsy. Could have been more you know, translucent with the wire. Could have been more, maybe. Could she have just taken that wire off altogether? Yeah, sure, maybe. But I like the look. Beautiful face, beautiful mug. Of course, you know, Mikey's always going to give you mug. Whatever she has done to the hairline, great. You know what it was? She didn't wear her natural hairline. It's all a wig, and it made that much of a difference. Next up, we have Darlene. I like this for Darlene, and not just like, oh, this is good for her, but no, this is within her brand. This is drag excellence. But I like this old Hollywood, classic silhouette, classic color combo with the gold and the red. This big, beautiful drag wig. Oh, I love a big, just tease to the gods. This is beautiful. This is very old Hollywood. It's very drag. And I think it really it suits her. I mean, she looks beautiful. The body, yada yada. Could I have used a little bit more of a titty boob? Yes, but some of them classic Hollywood stars, they ain't have nothing. So it was kind of true to the times and of the era and what she was going for. So I will let it slide this time. We go on to critiques. When Rue breaks down crying while talking to Darlene, oh my gosh. I needed a tissue. When Rue started breaking because we don't get that very often. And some people, when they kind of break down and get emotional, you just automatically. And Rue's one of those people. Like, most people, if I see you cry, I'm probably gonna have a reaction. But Rue is definitely one of those people that, like, because you don't see it very often, and it's so sincere. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. I feel like that moment, it felt like, is Darlene going to be our next queen? Is Darlene going to be our next reigning queen? It certainly feels like it. And of the girls who are left, I don't know. I just it would make a great storyline. Here's somebody who kind of, was just kind of floated in the middle, but then just took off and is very grateful. And the maturity is there. I think that I don't know. I think I'm Team Darlene. So Mikey and Darlene win. That was no surprise. They get $2,500 each. Darlene made it to the finale without having to lip sync. This is a big deal. So congratulations to Mikey and Darlene. They're going to the finale. So in the bottom two, we have the other team, the other pair, Nene and Juicy. So, is it going to be a moment where there's a double save? Are they both going to go and bring somebody back? No, I'm just playing. It's looking like it's going to get down to a final three. We've had final fours before. I think we've had a final five, maybe even once. And then, of course, we've had final threes. I don't know. I can't remember if we've ever had a final two in the finale before. I'm not sure. So they lip sync to a Chaperone song, Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl. Okay. Nene had just did her lip sync in her gown. But she served face, she performed, she did great. Juicy had a reveal. She had her little dance costume underneath. She immediately took off, what she wore on the runway. I think it would have been more impactful if she would have let the song build and then reveal to us, that she had the dance costume. But I understand you trying to fight for your life. You want to get right to it. So Nene stays and Juicy leaves. Now, Juicy did a great job. They both did a great job. But this is one of those times where I think track record did play into a regular moment on the regular season, because Juicy had been in the bottom, what was this, the fourth time? So, and also, I think Juicy is just not ready she needs to go back in the oven. And Brew even says during the critiques, I think Juicy needs to cook a little longer or something like that. And that automatically let me know, even if she makes it past this episode, she's not getting the crown. Like, them showing that he said that, like, that, yeah. I love Juicy. It was a great run. But yeah, it was a tough decision, but it was the right decision. Juicy was not ready. You need to cook just a little more. But what a great run. And maybe next week when you come back for the Lollapalooza, I think that's a title that you can win, girl. At least we know we're about to get some good lip syncs We about to get some good TV next week. Juicy gonna be all in there. Cat, boom, boom, cat. So, anyways, let me so much Juicy. So we have our top 3. We have Nene, Darlene, and Mikey. Who's it gonna be? Because I can't pretend. So let's talk about Untucked really quickly. They do the show and tell with the paintings that they got from Rue. They had a good laugh off of those paintings. They were kind of funny looking. They played a game, and then Mikey is like one of those games where they had to read, like, it was like questions on little post-it notes or something. And Mikey's reading the post-it note, and Mikey says, "Hitting look followers first." It said, "Who's hitting look followers first?" And everybody's looking like, what? And Juicy, without even seeing what was written down on the post, it was like 100K. And there, it was really funny because it did, I guess if you reading it fast, or depending on how it was written, Mikey thought it said look instead of 100K. So who's hitting 100K followers first is what it actually said. But the fact that Juicy, this little young child, knew that it said 100K without even seeing the paper, I thought that was funny. I got a little kiki out for that. But anyways, they had their, emotional moments, and they, said their goodbyes to the workroom. This was the final Untucked. Got some good little moments. They took some more pictures on the little Polaroid, and that was that. So we will see these girls again next week, but they're not going to be doing anything. We're going to see the Lollapalooza of all the eliminated queens, and then the week after that, that's when we are going to find out who is going to be the last one standing for season 18 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So with all that being said, that's about it, girls. I want Darlene to win, but like I said, I'm perfectly fine with any of these. I think they've all done really well, and I think that they will all do a great job with their reign. So we're almost to the end, people. Let me know who you think got it. Who do you want to win? Let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, love you so much again. Bye.